Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year. I just want to get on here and wish everyone a Happy New Year, and I hope that you're geared up to have a great new 2025. I know a lot of us have goals and a lot of aspirations for the new year, and I wish you all well. I know myself, working on me, working on what I have to get done in 2025, and it's going to take some work, but I'm not going to run away from it, you know? So blessings to you all for this new year. I wanted to speak to you guys about something, and I wanted to dedicate this video to my Uncle JD Beck. I got some sad news early this morning about his passing. He passed away. I think Uncle JD was in his 80s. I'm pretty sure he was in his late 80s. Lived a great life. He's a man's man. He's a man that, a family man, a husband, a father, great husband, great father, great mentor, great uncle. He's one of those human beings that I would aspire to be if I wanted to be a husband. I don't know what it's like to be a husband or have a wife, never been married, but him and my auntie who's been gone now for the past 3 or 4 years now, they stood together to the end. And you know, it's funny that he passes away early this morning, you know, beginning of 2025, and me doing this live, because a lot of the things that I want to work on as a man, he exemplified. And one conversation that I heard him speak, we had a family reunion about 2 years ago. And at our family reunion, we have a lot of people, hundreds of people come out, and they have fun at our family reunion. Food, drinks, laughter, talent, all sorts of things. And I remember him coming out, and he was speaking to me and my brother, and we were talking about old times. He was talking about my dad. He used to go fishing with my dad, and they go out in the boat and fish all day, you know. But when it was time to eat at the family reunion, and everybody was socializing, and it was time to serve food and so forth, they asked him to pray. And my Uncle JD was a man that when he spoke, everybody listened. His voice and his presence alone commanded respect. And they asked him to pray, but he spoke before the prayer. And he was an old school guy that observed everything around him. He paid attention. Like most old patriarchs do, they pay attention to their surroundings. They pay attention to conversations. They pay attention to attitudes. They pay attention to behaviors. They pay attention to children, whether they're disobedient or whether they're rowdy, or, you know, they pay attention to everything. He was one of those gentlemen that just absolutely paid attention to everything. And so he was asked to pray over the food, and what he was saying in the speech, I'll never forget for the rest of my life. And there were some things that were done with some young people. Things were said. some cuss words thrown around. And you got to understand, if you've ever been to a family reunion, especially with with black folks, there's a lot of older senior people there, And so when he spoke, he said that we all have to give an account to what we say and what we do. And that was basically the gist and the conversation that he had about giving account of what you do and what you say and how you live your life and how you're going to be remembered. That's the conversation that he had. I will never forget that as long as I live. And when he spoke, ladies and gentlemen, it was like a pin drop. He had the microphone and everything, and I believe, he was sitting down as he was, they gave him a chair, I believe, and he was speaking, and he prayed over the food. But the whole conversation was about giving an account to what you do in life. And I believe that was the last time he came to the family reunion, I believe. So, as I've said, that man was a great father, a great husband, great grandfather. He was just an all-around great human being. And I've always learned a lot from him just by observing him. I've never heard Uncle JD cuss. I've never seen Uncle JD say anything out the way to anyone. I've actually never seen him get mad. I've seen him discipline children, you know what I mean? But that's part of being an adult. But I've never seen him get out of character. I've never seen him get into fights. I've never seen him just lose his cool. Never. He's always the same. So this year in 2025 is all about legacy, all about accountability. For me, it is all about accountability, taking accountability. If you do something wrong, own up to it. If there's something that can be done over, then do it over. Do it right the first time. Because life's too short. Life's too short for us to spend our lives just going around in circles, not getting anything accomplished. Excuse me. So, I know one of the goals that I have this year is to be more accountable for my actions, be more accountable for the things that I do, maybe the things that I say, be more, take more accountability, with the people that I lead, because, I lead a bunch of people. And so everything rises or falls on leadership. Everything, So if I don't lead a good crew and something goes wrong, I got to be accountable. I got to hold myself accountable for that because I'm the guy that's in charge, So 2025 is all about accountability with me. It's also about getting better in everything, in every aspect, whether it's health-wise, whether it's my character as a man, because all of us are not perfect. None of us are perfect. None of us wake up every day and we don't have to change anything. That's not the case. Each man, woman, child, we can change something for the better, And so I've learned that from Uncle JD. And like I said, I want to dedicate this video to him because that man was the epitome of character, integrity, handling his business as a man. I'm going to miss him. As I'm talking right now, I'm kind of choking up right now because he is one of the great patriarchs of our family that people look to, and you can't say anything bad about Uncle JD. You know, was he a perfect man? No. You know, none of us are perfect, but that man had just exemplified respect. You know, and so now I'll say this again: if I wanted to be in a relationship, get married, and build upon that and be with someone, then that's the type of man that I would want to try to emulate. You know, every man is their own man, but he is a great example. Lived his life to the fullest. You know, stood on what he believed. So I mentioned about him never changing, never wavering. He was always the same. He was approachable. You know, I think every man or woman should learn from that. You know, whether it's good times, bad times, you know, that should change your character. It should change who you are as a person. If anything, it should make you stronger. You should learn from the hard times. You should learn from what you go through in life. And so I never knew if Uncle JD went through things. I know he did. I'm sure he did. But he never once did I ever see in his eyes that something was wrong, or he was always smiling, always laughing, always greeted me with a hug. You know, I always told my brother and I that he was proud of us. You know, my brother and I, we weren't known to, we're still not, we were never known to go out and party and do what other folks did. We just always worked hard and tried to take care of our families and take care of our business. So a great compliment coming from a man such as that, telling my brother and I, hey, I'm proud of you guys. You know, you never did, you two guys have never act like, you know, the kids today, the adults today. I'm proud of you guys. That's one thing him and my auntie, they always said, you know. So, you know, he's gonna be very missed, and I'm learning a lot. Just reflecting back on a great man's life and how I can learn from his life and basically, you know, take some tips from him, you know what I mean? And so 2025 is going to be a challenge for me, and I'm sure for some of you guys that's listening. But we can all take a page out of Uncle JD's book and live life to the fullest and always stay the same. Have integrity, you know, and be that type of person that people respect, and whenever you speak, folks listen. They, you know, your presence draws and commands attention. You know what I'm saying? And so I dedicate this video to my Uncle JD. Rest. I love you. I know you're looking down and you're proud, and I want to give a shout out to my cousins, Deanie, Sandra, Jodell. I love you guys. You're in my thoughts, but just know that your dad left a legacy, and like we all should. And with that being said, Happy New Year to you guys, and I hope I said something that will inspire and encourage. So Happy New Year, and everyone have a wonderful day, and SBK is gone.